If you're building your own website on Squarespace for your fitness or wellness business and you're thinking about starting with one of the hundreds of free templates they offer, but have no idea where to begin, this video is for you. I've picked 3 Squarespace templates that work really well for health and fitness industries, and I'm going to walk you through an example of changes I would make if I were using them. Okay, let's dive into the first one. Align and Flow has a really soothing, minimal design, which is perfect for businesses like yoga, Pilates, meditation, or breathwork studios. Visually, it already feels peaceful and premium, but there are a few things that I notice straight off the bat. Firstly, the top of the homepage doesn't really tell you what your next step is, and you need to scroll all the way down past the above the fold section in order to see any imagery. It looks nice, but it doesn't guide the visitor as well as it could. And sadly, this means that it's much easier to leave this website because it's not as easy as it could be for a visitor to instantly take the next step. Once you scroll down, the site starts to make more sense. There's information on class plans, instructors, and a journal, but overall, the journey could be much clearer. Now let's jump into the revised homepage. So here's some suggestions I would make if you're thinking about using the Align and Flow template. First, adjust the above the fold section so that your headline and images are both fully visible right when the page loads. Add a strong and simple call to action. Here I've gone for explore our plans, something that encourages people to take action to your main offer straight away. I've also rearranged the entire homepage flow. You want to guide people naturally from that first headline into your class offerings and then your instructor info. Here I've added in a section using the Acuity scheduling add-on where clients can easily book classes without having to leave the homepage. Then you have journal content and finally into the clear call to action at the bottom. It seems this template has originally been designed just around online offerings, so I wanted to demonstrate how you could add a booking element using Acuity or another platform if you also had in-person sessions. You'd likely also want a dedicated booking page at the top of your navigation, so I've added this as a drop-down under classes, in-person classes, and virtual classes. For lead generation, I added an announcement bar offering a 7-day free trial. It links to a page where new clients can sign up with the email and try free for 7 days. Lead magnets don't always need to be a digital product. You can also give away a trial of your service. If you're thinking of using an announcement bar in your own design, it's important to note that you'll need a business plan or higher to use announcement bars on Squarespace. Now these changes are all just on the home page, but they immediately make the site feel clearer, more intentional, and most importantly, more user-friendly. So this really goes to show that any template you'll use from the default Squarespace library really needs to be optimized around your specific business and around user experience best practices. You'll find a lot of the pages can end up being redundant or needing a fair amount of adjustments. This is one of the many reasons I suggest having a fully developed brand strategy and clear offers first. And if you don't know where to start with this, you might like to download my free website strategy planner. The link is in the description. Cole is a great starting point for personal trainers, solo coaches, or therapists. It has an elegant and high-end design, and what I love is that the full above the fold section appears without needing to scroll. There's also a call to action button already in place, and a credibility section with stats like clients trained or client retention rate, which all help build trust really quickly. But there are a few things that could be stronger. The main hero image is cropped in a way that hides the trainer's face. Plus, I do think it's a bit confusing cropping it alongside an abstract image of the ocean. So if we assume in this case we're designing for a solo personal trainer, I do think in most cases having an image that shows your face straight away would draw more people in initially. Of course, that doesn't mean you need to choose a cheesy smiling image. It just means that you're not instantly appearing as an enigma. You're a real person who potential clients can trust. Of course, the exact type of image you choose for this would depend on your overall brand strategy and creative direction. I'm also noticing the headline doesn't give much context at all, and by default, this is actually a single page website. This means all sections listed in the navigation link to elements on the one page. And this is fine if you're offering just one thing, but it can be limiting if you want to grow your business or show more services over time. Now, let's jump into the revised homepage. I changed the hero image. Ideally, you'd use a photo of yourself where your face is mostly visible, but this image here was cropped by default. I did, however, take away the image of the ocean. I also added a sub-headline for context so the message is clearer and more personal. I also noticed that the main above the fold header was not using your main headline, H1, and ideally we should be using that for SEO purposes. When you're building your Squarespace site, try to keep just one H1 per page. That's your main page headline. It does help search engines understand your content and it keeps your page structure clean. Use H2s and H3s for everything else. You can think of it like a textbook with one chapter title and sub-headlines underneath. Now, this website is definitely tailored to service-based businesses. However, as we can see, there has been a digital product block added, and this means that each individual service has been set up with the ability for clients to prepay. If you didn't want to give your clients the option to prepay on your website, the fix is simple. You just take these away and replace it instead with an option to contact you, and you could figure out your billing from there. And now, because I prefer multi-page websites, I created a drop-down menu, so each service now has its own separate page. This gives you a space to explain your offers properly, and it's stronger for SEO. In the About section, I added a More About Cole button plus Find Out More buttons for each service, so your visitors can explore the site instead of staying all in one long scroll. For lead generation, I added a simple opt-in section for a freebie, then finished off the homepage with a stronger final call to action and a footer that supports user experience, linking to all the important pages. So Myhra has a lovely earthy visual feel. The colors and font choices work really well if you're a nutritionist, dietitian, or wellness coach. The homepage takes visitors through your services and ends on a recipe section, which is a clever way to build trust before someone books with you. However, I would suggest the structure still needs some refining. The top of the homepage has a confusing above the fold section, and it also lacks a call to action as well. Some of the navigation overlaps. So for example, coaching appears in two places, and there's both a contact page and a work with me page on the navigation header, which could easily be combined into one single page for a better user experience. Now let's jump into the revised homepage. First, I refined the above the fold section with a clear headline and button. This sets the tone and gives visitors something to act on straight away. What I've done here is combine the image and main header into one. I made the header solid for better visibility and removed the extra contact link in the menu to clean things up. I created separate pages for each service and then linked them in the header using a drop-down, so everything feels more structured. I also added an image and more personal content to the About section, included a lead magnet, and added in testimonials. I kept the recipe section because it does add value and builds trust. Finally, I optimized the footer and added a strong call to action at the bottom. All of these changes were just focused on the homepage, and just these changes alone made the overall user journey much smoother for new website visitors. Also, just a side note, if you're thinking of using this template, there are instances of digital products and members areas as well, so if you don't need those sections, you're going to want to go through and delete those. Okay, and that's it. If you're keen to build your Squarespace site yourself, starting with the free templates is a great foundation. Just keep an eye out for areas that might not follow design or marketing best practices, and remember to always view your site from a visitor's perspective and make sure the navigation feels intuitive. Now, before you dive into building your new website, it's important that your brand and website strategy is already in place. You'll want to watch this video next. It's a step-by-step guide to everything you should do before jumping into a website builder, and it will save you a ton of time and stress. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.